Hi everyone, welcome to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian with the Twin Lakes Libraries and I use they, them pronouns. So it's been a while since we've had a new video. I'm trying to do these twice a month, so expect a new one not next week, but the following week. And right now I'm going to talk to you about some new books that we've got at the library. We just got in our new book order, so I'm very excited to share these with you. Some of the books haven't arrived yet. We're kind of getting them in stages. So I'm going to have a complete list in the video notes of what we've ordered, but just be aware that not all of them may have arrived at this time, and I'll be updating the Goodreads new books list as well, and getting all the books categorized into their different genres. So I'm just going to talk first about some of the ones I've read, and then maybe talk about a few that I'm excited to read. So first off, we've got new manga, Jujutsu Kaisen. Right now we don't have the complete series. We have volume 1 and volume 11, and the others are on order, so fingers crossed that we'll get them soon. I really love this manga. I've only read the first volume so far, but I did watch all of the anime and I loved it. The characters really captured me in a way that I haven't really gotten that into an anime. So just be aware this is rated for older teens. And let's see. I'm going to try to read you the back, but part of it is covered with a sticker. In a world where cursed spirits prey on humans, fragments of the, I'm just guessing here, ultimate demon Ryomen Sukuna have been lost and scattered about. Should any demon consume Sukuna's body parts, the power they gain could destroy the world as we know it. Fortunately, there exists a mysterious school of Jujutsu sorcerers who exist to protect the precarious existence of the living from the supernatural. Although Yuji Itadori looks like your average teenager, his immense physical strength is something to behold. Every sports club wants him to join, but Itadori would rather hang out with a school outcast and the occult research club. One day, the club manages to get their hands on a sealed, cursed object. Little do they know the terror they'll unleash when they break the seal. Dun, 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 dun. Really great, like I said, great characters, really good story, world building, action. It can get a little bit gruesome sometimes. There's some body horror, but if you're into supernatural action type stories, then I highly recommend this. Also, it's pretty funny, honestly. It can get dark at times, but I feel like it never gets to be too much. And yeah, I love Yuji, he's great. Okay, next up we have a graphic novel. It's Cheer Up, Love, and Pompoms, and this is I love it so much. It's so sweet. I love the art style of this. So let's see. Annie is a smart antisocial lesbian starting her senior year of high school, who's under pressure to join the cheerleading squad to make friends and round out her college applications. Her former friend, Bibi, is a people pleaser, a trans girl who must keep her parents happy with her grades and social life in order to maintain their support of her transition. Through the rigors of squad training and amped-up social pressures, not to mention microaggressions and other queer youth problems, the two girls rekindle a friendship they thought they lost and discover there may be other sweeter feelings springing up between them. So, as you know, I love sports stories, and you know what? Cheerleading is a sport, and this one just had so many big feels. There's I love the story about rekindling a lost friendship. I thought that was amazing, really well done. I like the team aspects, the cheer aspects. and getting to know both of these girls and their lives. I really like Annie's mom, who's just amazing. So yeah, this was just it is a feel-good story in my opinion, but there are moments that like get you like, ooh, especially with some of the stuff that Vivi's going through. But yeah, I highly recommend, and it's pretty short, so you know, check it out. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a quick segue from talking about the brand new books to talk about one I just read last week that it came out this year. So you know what? It is new. It's a 2021 book, and I'm ashamed to say it took me forever to get around to reading this book. Sometimes, like, I just get this mental block when I'm really anticipating a book that I just can't pick it up. And this was one of them. Like, I loved the first book, Fireborn. It was one of my favorite books I read last year. So I had like really high expectations for this one, and it's pretty big. Like, it's almost 500 pages, and so I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I might have mentioned before, I've had a hard time reading physical books. So I've been doing a lot of ebooks and audiobooks. However, I did power through this in 2 days because it was so good. Like, it definitely got, like, I kind of read a short synopsis of what happened in book one because it's been a while, and then got back into this and was immediately like remembering why the first book just blew me away so much. This one, I was kind of joking with some friends that this book ruined me. Oh man, the ending, if you read this, you're just gonna be like immediately craving the final book. It's so good. I've personally compared this one to the books Red Rising, The Hunger Games, and also How to Train Your Dragon, which is completely different, simply because of the dragons in this book. Like, the characters bonding with their dragons, training their dragons, fighting with them. Not fighting the dragons, but dragons fighting dragons. You know, there's a war coming on. I won't say really too much about it, just in case you haven't read the first book. I don't want to give spoilers, but it's so good. It's a lot of, it's pretty light on romance, and like a lot of the focus is on kind of like political and social unrest, and the characters having to deal with these like really trying circumstances, and you know, friends kind of ending up on opposite sides of the issues, where they're both like, no, I'm right, and you know, having to decide what's more important, like their personal beliefs or their friendships. So really getting into it with this, and it's just really amazing if you're into like that kind of thing. So lots of feels, action. There's so many characters to like cheer for and root for. So many characters you just like, I hope you get eaten by a dragon. Yeah, I highly enjoyed it. Okay, back to the new books. We have Flashfire by T.J. Klune. This is book 2 in the Extraordinary series. So again, I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one, just in case you haven't read the first book, because I don't want to give spoilers. But this is a series about some basically like superheroes, people with powers, in this place called Nova City. And the main characters are Nick. He's our main character. He's our protagonist. And his best friend, where is Nick's best friend's name? Seth. Yeah, I can do this. So anyways, it's about them dealing with somebody in this book is a superhero, like, spoiler, and dealing with like that person being a superhero, like what it means to kind of balance those responsibilities, what does it mean if they want to give up being a superhero and have a normal life. And in this book, they're getting into more of like the origin of different heroes. There's some like big conspiracies within Nova City. There's somebody who's up to no good, and yeah, it's just, in this one I feel like there's a lot of scrutiny on the superhero characters and on Nick as well, and yeah, there's a lot going on. But it is like extremely funny. It's also like a queer romance, and yeah, TJ Klune, his books, like, he writes a lot of adult books, so this is his first young adult series, and he writes really well for this, you know, genre, I guess, or reading level, and he just makes me laugh so much. So if you enjoy humor and superheroes, action, really great friendship, then definitely check this out. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one a lot, so good stuff. Okay, I said some of these books haven't come in yet, and two of the ones I'm going to talk about are not here as of yet, but they have been ordered, so hopefully they'll be here soon. I'm going to talk about this one first because it's a sequel, so I'm not really going to get into all of it, just because I don't want to do spoilers, but it's The Sisters of Reckoning by Charlotte Nicole Davis. So this is book 2 in the Good Luck Girls series, and this one is, this series is kind of like a fantasy alternate history of the West. So think of like westerns, like the old school westerns, but then add in like fantasy creatures and all kinds of stuff, with like an alternate history of the United States. I can't remember all of the world building for this book, but it's really interesting. I really loved the first book. It was just so unique. It blew me away. But it's about this group of girls who basically their family sold them into these brothels where they're like known as the Good Luck Girls, and they end up breaking out and running away and trying to escape to a different country where they'll be free. And I'm trying to remember some of the stuff. But yeah, kind of like that's like the core of what that story's about. And then book 2 picks up with the main character working to overthrow the systems that have been oppressing them and their people in this country. So it's, in my opinion, I like the first book better just because I tend to like books where you've got this group of people and they're all together and they're all working together to get somewhere, to meet some goal. And then I always feel sad, like if it's in a series where they split up and then it's kind of focused on like one person or, you know, whatever. And I'm just like, I miss that kind of like group dynamic, which is like when I read the Lord of the Rings books. Sorry, this is the segue. I always like the first book the best because I like it when all the fellowship is together, and then it just makes me sad when they have to go their separate ways. Spoiler if you haven't read The Fellowship of the Ring, which you should. But anyways, this was, I think that's the last book in this like duology. So I was satisfied with the ending, and you know, there's a lot of good things about it, so I definitely recommend it if you're into kind of like exploring a different sort of book, you know, than you would typically pick up. I feel like this one is like unique in a lot of ways. And then another book I read, which we don't have it yet, however, it is on Libby as an ebook and an audiobook, and that is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. So I I love Victoria Lee. I read, oh my gosh, the Fever Wake books, The Fever King and The Electric Air. They're like two of my all-time faves. Like, you want to talk about books that like rip you apart, and those are great. So this one, let's read what it's about. Okay. A dark, twisty thriller about a centuries-old ivory-covered boarding school haunted by its history of witchcraft and two girls dangerously close to digging up the past. The dangerous romance and atmospheric setting makes it a perfect read for fans of dark academia. The history of Dalloway School lives in the bones it was built on. 5 violent deaths in the first 10 years of its existence. Sometimes you can still smell the blood on the air. It wasn't until Felicity enrolled that she fell in love with the dark, and now she's back to finish her senior year after the tragic death of her girlfriend. She even has her own room in Godwin House, the exclusive dormitory rumored to be haunted by the spirits of the 5 Dalloway students who lived there. Girls, some say, were witches. It's Ellis Haley's first year at Dalloway. A prodigy novelist at 17, Ellis is eccentric and brilliant, and Felicity can't shake the pull she feels to her. So when Ellis asks for help researching the Dalloway 5 for her second book, Felicity can't say no. Dalloway's occult lore is everywhere, and the new girl won't let Felicity forget it. But when the past begins to invade on the present, Felicity needs to decide where she stands. The soil under her feet is bloody with Dalloway's history, and so is the present. Is it Dalloway or is it her? This one, yes, dark academia, which is like, how do you describe dark academia? It's usually like kind of the type of story where you've got like these kind of brilliant, borderline amoral characters who are coming together and getting involved with something super shady. Whether it's like the occult or like murdering somebody for like occult reasons or other reasons. It usually involves death. Somebody is going to die in dark academia. Kind of like one of the books I consider like quintessential dark academia is If They Were Villains, which is an adult book, but I feel like teens could read that one. There is The Secret History, which I haven't read. I've heard so many good things about it, but I haven't read it yet. So I feel like a lot of dark academia books are generally written for adult audiences, so I was very excited about this one being young adult, and I think it perfectly captures that vibe of like, you know, brilliant students getting really obsessed with like a certain thing, in this case witches and the occult. Both girls are like, you know, one girl is writing, Ellis is writing a book about the Dalloway 5, and Felicity, you know, is coming back to try and redo her senior year, and she was supposed to be writing her like thesis on something else, but instead she goes back to her original research on the witches, even though it, you know, I think her parents and therapists and everyone think that, you know, she's not like emotionally stable enough to handle that. But and I think at one point in the book you kind of start wondering like, all right, well, is witchcraft real? Is magic real? Did these you know, historical deaths actually happen the way they did? Are these students like getting into magic for real, or is it all just kind of like this psychological state that they're getting into? So I thought it was really interesting. There's definitely like this great tension between the characters that I think is kind of common for dark academia, where it's like you've got these people who are like so close together that it's like this borderline between like, do I love you? Do I hate you? Are you actually my friend? Are you working against me? Like, what are my true feelings for you? And I feel like, Felicity is kind of like an unreliable narrator. So all that was like really, really good. There's like mystery and death and just, it's like I said, it was very atmospheric. Like reading it, I felt like I was there. I think it's the perfect book to read now that autumn's coming on. Like, go read it in the dark with some candles or something. And I want to listen to the audiobooks. I love audiobooks. So this is like a full list of everything that we ordered, and I always highlight things I've already read, things I want to read. I don't always get to everything I want to read, but there's so many good things on here. I'm just going to tell you some titles really fast. Anyway the Wind Blows, that's the final Simon Snow book by Rainbow Rowell. I'm actually listening to the audiobooks right now to kind of get myself into the state to read the final book. I just finished Carry On. I'm about to start Wayward Son. I'm very excited. Black Butler, Volume 30. I've been reading Black Butler for years and years, and very excited to see how this story is evolving. Boys Run the Riot, Volume 2. Haikyu, Volume 45. This is the end of Haikyu. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, 45 volumes is a lot, but in the same time, it doesn't feel like enough because I love the characters so much. Like I said, the Jujutsu Kaisen, we're waiting for volumes 2 through 10, as well as volume 12, so hopefully they'll get here soon. Redemptor, this is Raybear Book 2. I loved Raybear. It was just a brilliant fantasy. Highly recommend. Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. I loved her first book, which is You Should See Me in a Crown. It's really good. The River Has Teeth by Erica Waters. I haven't really heard too much about this, but I loved Erica Waters' book Ghostwood Song, so of course I have to read this, and it looks like it's going to be kind of a good, creepy, spooky book to read. We have Run, Book 1 by John Lewis, so if you read the March graphic novels, this is also by John Lewis. Saint Young Men, Volume 6, I have this one checked out. I love it. Jesus and Buddha live in an apartment together in Japan, and it's very humorous slice of life, while still being pretty respectful to these religious figures. I don't ever think it's more it's funny, but it's not making fun of them. So it's just, I don't know, heartwarming in a weird way. Sasaki and Miyano, Volume 3. This is just a super cute, boys love manga that I've really been enjoying. It's kind of like a slow burn. Then Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I feel really bad because I haven't finished the Spin the Dawn duology. I read the first book and loved it a lot, and this is a reminder to myself to read the second book, but I'm very excited about this one. Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead. I'm assuming it's Things. The title got cut off. I don't know too much about this one, but I love the cover, and I did read the synopsis at some point and thought it sounded really good. So, and you know me, I will read all the vampire books and love them. All right, we've got couple other ones. What We Devour by Lindsay Miller. Again, I don't really remember the synopsis for that, but it's got a cool cover. It looks dark and spooky and perfect for this time of year. And then The Wild Ones by Nafisa Azad. I hope I said the name right. And this one just looks beautiful, magical, queer. There's a lot going on in it from what I remember of the synopsis, so I was like, okay, this is one I definitely want to check out and read. And then there's so many other books on this list that I also want to read, but I just read all the time, y'all. That's what I do. But I'm a librarian, so that's okay, you know. Hopefully y'all will find something great to read from this list and come to the library and check it out because we are open. If you can hear the bells going off, that means it's 12 and I need to wrap up this video. A couple quick things, just a reminder, we are doing after-school programs at the Hancock branch Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 5:30, so please stop in and see us. We have our events listed on our online calendar, and what else? Oh, so starting this month, we're kind of doing spooky movies. We're going to be doing spooky movies now through October because of course we are, and we've got, you know, cool crafts lined up. If you come this Wednesday, we're going to be doing crafts for the start of Latino Heritage Month, and we'll also be doing take-home crafts. So if you don't want to come, you can request a craft bag online, and that'll be this Wednesday's video. We'll put it up Wednesday, and then if you want to get the supplies to make those things, you can put in a request for them. And last of all, don't forget teen book boxes. I'll have the link in the video notes. You can sign up and get one. It is a new month, September, so if you haven't already signed up for a September box, you can do that. And I love making these boxes. It's one of my favorite things to do. So please do that, spread the word. Alright, sorry this video got to be really long, but I'm really excited about all these books, and I hope you are too. Alright, I will talk to y'all later. Bye!